are y'all doing today? I'm back. I came back. Yes. Okay, so I started a poll. Do you know your British history? Okay, so the etymology of the word British is Brit is actually the covenant between God and man. Ish is man. So British is a Hebrew word. So when we talk about British, we are talking about the Hebrew people. Okay. So I was afraid that was going to happen. I was afraid that was going to happen. Okay. Let me see if this will work out. Okay, this will work out better for us. So the image that I just attempted to put up would have been Adam and Eve. So they say that life started out with Adam and Eve, according to the Bible. According to the biblical story, they say that life originates with Adam and Eve. So, let me see here. Okay. So, life originated with Adam and Eve. According to the Bible, it tells us that Adam was the first man and Eve was the first woman. Whether we know more about that or that's not the debate right now. The thing is, we gonna stick to the story, right? Greetings. So we got Adam and Eve. Wait a minute. So we got Adam and Eve, and Eve name is Hawa, and it says that her father is Ptah, according to the Doctor York tablets. Okay, so it say that. Okay, so it says that Ptah is the father of Memphis. So Ptah is also the father of Memphis. Ptah, you see right there, it say father of Nekyabal and Hawa. So that's Eve. Eve's name is Hawa. Hawwah. That's Eve's name. So Ptah is also the king of Memphis, right? So Memphis is Cairo. Cairo is Egypt. So Cairo, Egypt is the capital city. Memphis is the capital city of Egypt, and Cairo is a city that is in Egypt. There are many different Cairos. You got Cairo, Illinois. You have a Cairo, Texas. Um, I forget the other Cairo, but it's several different cities that are called Cairo that is right here in America. Also, you have the city of Memphis, which is also associated with Ptah, the god Ptah. Okay, so here we go with this. Let me figure out how I can turn my camera around. Okay, I don't know if I'll be able to take this off and put it back. Okay. So here we have this book about African princesses. So in this book here, we have Africa. Okay. So we got Africa there, and they said that Ptah is the king of Memphis. So if we key in here, we see Ptah's kingdom, which is Memphis, right? So Memphis is this city that is here. Not not the Memphis that we know, but this is a different Memphis because this is Egypt. Okay? So here near Memphis, and Memphis is near the city of Thebes. It's near the city of Adwa, which is in Ethiopia, because that's Addis Ababa. So that is actually a peninsula there, which that's Florida, right? Because Louisiana is near Florida, correct? Okay, and then as you go up the coast, going up towards where Virginia is, if that was Florida down there, if you was coming up the coast, up to where the Carolinas and stuff are, there you will have Elizabeth Kingdom, right? That's about right, isn't it? The Virginia Kingdom, isn't that about right? Queen Elizabeth of England, that's about right. Okay, and then as you go around the coast over into what is known as, this would be like where Maine and um, New York, up in that area, you have her kingdom, the Dahomey Kingdom. And then you have, I mean, this is the Mataba Kingdom, my bad. Once you go over into this region, you have the Dahomey Kingdom. Then you have the Amina Kingdom. So these were no, six different kingdoms. So you got six different kingdoms here. And this, they would say that this is Africa. So let's learn about this Africa, because in the conscious community, if you say Africa, people will automatically hop in the chat and say, we're not African, I'm not African, you don't know what you're talking about, I'm going to discredit you, let's debate, let's argue. People want to do all of that when you say Africa, right? So, let's learn something about Africa here. So it say, what do we imagine when we think of Africa? It is the great wildness teeming with elephants and lions. So Africa has elephants, they have lions, um, a place where children starve and people die of dreadful diseases. Often these are the images of Africa that we see on television or the movies, but they do not tell the whole story. Africa is not a country, but many countries. It is the second largest continent on Earth. Africa is snow capped mountains, blue seas, rivers, powerful waterfalls, steamy rainforests, tiny deserts, desert plains, green valleys, moderate cities. These people of Africa are varied at the landscape with their own language, music, art, religion, stories, ways of life. The six African princesses and queens whose stories are told in this book give us views of Africa we do not often see. They represent Africa's rich and diverse cultural heritage. Okay, so it said that they had elephants, lions. Okay, it said that. So let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going with some of this knowledge. Okay, okay, because I really want to get into. Let's start with the warrior king, the warrior queen, Nazinga of Matamba. Okay, let's talk about her. So, in 1483, the Portuguese explorers sailed three small ships into the mouth of the Congo River. They were surprised by the large number of people they met. The people of the Congo Kingdom as surprised as the Portuguese. They looked at the sails of the Portuguese ships. They looked at the sails of the Portuguese ships into the mouth of. Wait a minute. Where am I at? They looked into the sails of the Portuguese ships and called the strangers Nadel, masters of the white birds. At first, the king of Congo thought that the strangers would help open new trade routes overseas. Trade was important to the people of West Central Africa. So they was in the West. Greetings, greetings. Yes, so they was in the West. So what do we know is in the West? If we was looking at America, because that's America, right? If we was looking at America, and they said that the Matamba Kingdom is in the West. So that's over here, right? That's California. That's California going down into Texas, going down into Mexico, right? You see that? You see the coastline? So this is where her kingdom was at, right? They said her kingdom was on the west of Africa. You see this? On the west continent of Africa. Because if we are to turn this at 33 degrees, that's Africa, right? Where we had our, okay? You see one side of it looks like a wolf, and the other side has the lion head, the lion of Judah. And that. And look at the Great Lakes here. Okay, so it says that the Portuguese and other Europeans took advantage of this system of slavery. So let's go look at another source. Okay, because the way we set up, let's go look at a biblical source. Okay, let's go. Let's go get us some biblical knowledge here, people. Okay, so they would cut the map off, but it's cool. If you look over there in the on the left hand side in the corner, it say EL. That's Israel. It got cut off. So that would be where California and stuff at. So that is the region that this kingdom is in. Nainga of the Matamba Kingdom. So it says that the people of Congo Kingdom were as surprised as the Portuguese. So when they pulled the, let me reread it. It say in 1483 Portuguese explorers sailed three small ships into the mouth of the Congo River. They were surprised by a large number of people they met. The people of the Congo Kingdom were as surprised as the Portuguese. They looked at the sails of the Portuguese ships and called them strangers, Nadel, master of white birds. At first, the king of Congo thought the strangers would help open new trade routes overseas. Trade was important to the people of West Central Africa. They were farmers, artists, craftspeople who wove fine clothes out of palm bark. They created jewelry of silver, copper, and other metals. By the beginning of the 16th century, the Portuguese missionaries, settlers, and traders had followed the explorers to Congo. While the missionaries tried to spread Christianity, the traders found a business that make them even more money than silver and copper. The slave trade. You hear this? They supposed to be missionaries, the Portuguese missionaries. When they arrived, they found out that they can make money off the slave trade because it was a business that was already existing, but they saw that they could capitalize off of it. Greetings, greetings. So the Christianity, the traders found the business that could make them even more money than silver and copper. The slave trade. Slavery already existed in Africa, so this is human trafficking, y'all. It was often used as punishment for crimes or for paying off a debt. Sometimes people were captured during wars and enslaved by the enemy. The Portuguese and other Europeans took advantage of this system of slavery. They needed a large number of slaves for their South American colonies and for their plantations and settlements along the African coast. Buying, selling humans became a growing profitable business in this part of Africa where kings and chiefs started wars. So you see, they telling you that the Portuguese is in South America, right? So why is the Portuguese worried about Africans? They not worried about Africans. They coming up the coastline from the bottom, from South America. They coming up the bottom, and they're coming across this land here, and they coming in across, up where the Red Sea is, and they coming into Israel, which is over here where California, where Washington at, where Utah at, where Oregon at, where all these cities over here in the West are, because they came looking for the Israelites. Why? Because they came to Congo looking for the Congolese. According to, if we was looking at it from an African point of view, we would go study the Portuguese and the Congolese. But we taught that we come from Africa, right? But we don't know what part of Africa we come from, right? But I'm telling you, we would be considered the Congolese because when they pulled up on the ships, they arrived here in Louisiana in the Mississippi Delta. So they went to either, they went to either Texas, Mississippi, or Louisiana. So that's where they was doing the selling of people at. That's where the slave ports at. If you go check history, the slave ports is in Louisiana, Mobile, Alabama. It's in certain parts of Texas, and it's definitely in Louisiana. They was selling people in French quarters. Why was they selling people in the French quarters? Where did they get the people from? The people that was there, because they pulled up and raided the people that was there, and the people that was there. I'm gonna show you how they look. And I will take this off my phone. Help me. Okay. So when the Portuguese arrived, this is what the Portuguese saw. The Portuguese saw people wearing shells, people wearing crystals, people wearing copper. I think copper was a form of money back then. The shells are a form of money back then. The beads are a form of money back then. Look at her arm. That's a form of money. So this lady just basically covered in money. She got the animal fur. That's money. That's valuable. This they just saw tribes as far as the accuracy of these people because they went to Congo looking for these people. So these people had the bills. These people had swords. These people had the bow and arrows. These people had feathers. That's an indigenous person, right? She has on the bear. What is that? The lion fur. She got lion fur on with the red. She has on blue, white, and red. She has blue and gold. Blue and gold represent the French Empire. The red, blue, and white represent the British is a Hebrew word for the man of the covenant. So this is definitely an Israelite. Okay. Um, and like she said, in the 1500s, they were kidnapping people and they were trafficking people. So these are the people of Mississippi. These are the people of Alabama. These are the people of Georgia. So these are our ancestors. But because they put it under the word of Angola and Congo and, you know, Angola, we don't know that that's here in America. You can clearly see that's New Orleans once they renamed it New Orleans. But it make more sense that they was taking people from Louisiana when they was selling you to Alabama. Because at the time, if you was from a tribe in Louisiana, you don't know where you at in Alabama. But that's why people would run away to the Indian tribe because they would go find, let's say you come from the Lion tribe. When you in Alabama, you gonna go find the Lion tribe in Alabama because you know you got family there. So that's why they would run away to the Indian, the villages that was still in the woods until they start destroying them and stuff. So we was talking about on the color purple how Silly was living in Georgia. And Silly, let me get the image. Let me get the image of Silly living in Georgia because you have to see this. It's one of those things you have to see. I don't know if y'all can see these documents or not. I don't know if it printed, y'all. I don't know. think so. I don't know if it printed. Okay, but wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. It didn't print, but hey, we got us a map here. So, hey, I'm happy about that. So, according to this map right here, Georgia is, you have Georgia right here. Georgia was once all four states because it was a territory. So in the Georgia territory, you had Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida. So wait a minute. Oh my goodness, I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go. Oh my goodness.